As the new year is starting, I'm actually recording this, as you can see, on January 1st, 2024. I wanted to bring awareness to building confidence by starting out with small habits, whether this be in your business or in your life. I came across this concept, I believe, last year. One of my coaches, Lauren, if you need a business coach recommendation, definitely check her out and feel free to DM me if you want her info, was talking about almost undergoaling so that you know that you can hit your goal. And I found this really great and a concept that I took into both my life and my business. And so I'm going to go over that today and how starting small can actually help you build confidence to achieve bigger goals in your life. Okay, so having too many goals and plans can make it difficult to succeed. And I think a lot of times we feel really motivated either at the beginning of the year or when starting off something for the first time or getting into it new. And we just want to go all in. And I definitely have that all or nothing personality. So I know that one for sure of like, okay, I'm going to work out. So I'm going to go all out and do 2 hours of working out a day. But when you start off with those really big goals, it can be difficult to see it materialize in your life because it's hard to keep consistent when you haven't done it for a while. So I think that starting with small habits often lead to building your confidence not only with yourself and being able to keep your commitments, but it also leads to being able to achieve bigger goals, because as you achieve the small ones, you're more likely to stick with it and then be able to keep upping your goals as time goes on. Okay, so I'm going to give an example about reading, which if you know me, you know that I love reading. So one of the things that people say is, I want to read more in the next year. And Goodreads makes this really great because you could set a reading goal. But if you haven't read for the past couple years and you want to read 200 books this year, maybe that is unrealistic. Maybe you need to start with committing to reading 10 pages a day. And even though that could seem really small and you're like, oh, that's really easy, just making sure like, okay, January, we're going to read 10 pages per day. And as you achieve that, you're going to build really big confidence with yourself and you'll be able to check that off your list. And I think that that is really great. And of course, you could read more than just those 10 pages, but by making that your energetic minimum, you'll definitely achieve it. And then you can gradually increase this if desired. So if you read 10 pages and then the next month you want to read 20 pages and then 30 and then 40, like you'll get so far. And I think the biggest thing in starting something new is actually just making the habit of showing up for it in your life. And then you'll be able to get there much, much easier in the future and do more with it. Okay, here's another example. Yoga. And this is one that I'm actually using for myself because I've had these times in my life where I've done yoga every single day for like 2 months and then I just drop off. Or I want to get back into yoga and I do like hour-long yoga routines and then the next day I'm tired. So I really want to feel better about doing yoga. So what I'm committing to right now is just 10 minutes a day of yoga. If I do more, that's great. If I just hit the 10 minutes, that's great. But that just really helps me break the mental barrier and just get started. I think the hardest part of doing it is actually getting dressed, showing up, rolling out your yoga mat, turning on a yoga video and just doing it. And once you are in flow, you're there. And so I know that by showing up and just making it seem really simple, that I'll actually follow through with it. Because when you think about, oh, I've got to do an hour of this, it seems like a huge chunk of time you have to block off. Where if you think, oh, I just got to do 10 minutes, like you're more likely to get there because I'm sure you spend 10 minutes scrolling on your phone anyway. So it just is a lot easier to show up 10 minutes, do the yoga, and then be able to commit to that. And like I said, over time, it could be like, oh, okay, I think I want to increase this to 15 minutes or 20 minutes. And because you've already found 10 minutes to do it, chances are you could find more time in the day as well to be able to do a longer practice. Or maybe naturally it just increases like that. I think this is really great because you're building trust and routine, and by following through with yourself, you'll figure out that you'll be able to follow through with more things in your life. And so it just gives you so much self-confidence. I know that in a previous video, I talked about following through with the trainings or courses you've purchased. And I have been actively working on that over the past couple months. And it's felt so good to actually finish out some courses that I purchased before and just stay in that routine. And I think the follow through has made me even more confident to invest in myself in future programs, as well as just knowing that I have it on my calendar and I'm going to follow through with it. And so I'm really proud of that step. Small actions build trust with, like I said, ourselves, but also others. So when you are committing to doing something for someone else, it builds that trust with them too, because you already know that you're able to show up for yourself each day. So it'll be that much easier to be able to show up for someone else. And this is great as an entrepreneur when you're taking on clients and signing contracts. And so it's just a really nice piece of the puzzle. And then once your habits are established and they're feeling really good, start setting bigger goals. So like I said, if you're reading 10 pages a day and that's starting to feel easy, maybe you up it to 20. If you're doing 10 minutes of yoga, maybe you up it to 15 minutes of yoga. But just by starting off small, you're way more likely to keep this habit going and find success with it. So identify some small goals that you can actually get started on, and break your actions into manageable steps. So instead of trying to go all in, what are some things you could do to just get started on a project or just get started in a simple routine? And how will that build over time? Set realistic expectations for yourself. Don't try and go from I've never done this to I'm going to do it 24/7. Just really try and think about how can I make this sustainable so that I won't go into it and then quit and then kind of bounce back and forth, but really get into it and have it be a sustainable practice in your life. So I hope this helped. It's really helped me out in my life be able to build trust and confidence with myself by following through on simple routines and being able to increase these over time and just seeing a lot of progress as I'm looking back. So if you like this, please give it a thumbs up. That means a lot. And if you want to see more about business and lead generation and my life, go ahead and subscribe. I'm planning to do a lot of videos for this year, and I'm super excited to see where this channel takes me and help you grow as well. So thanks so much for being here, and look forward to seeing you in my next video.